Hello, everybody. Back again after a splendid Shabbat service. After a splendid Omen and Defenders Shabbat service, where we continue the tradition our ancestors engaged with. In my own case, the Nkworu Day. I'm from the Ebwema sub-republic of my own republic. In my own sub-republic, the Nkworu Day, which was the 7th/8th day, counting what the Igbo people think, what the Hebrew people think their system of counting weeks. On Nkworu days, we go to the Obi or the Amma. I'm talking of the men folk. Sip the white stuff, that is palm wine. The women are at home. The children also come to the Amma. Everybody enjoys themselves. That's what we did in pre-Christian milieu of the Hebrew people. Omen and Defenders is continuing this tradition through keeping the weekly Shabbat. We gather, we are setting up the physical communities, and we are also meeting via Zoom. Who are these people that meet? People like myself, that we are born in the Hebrew republics. Our brothers and sisters who were cut off from us 300 to 400 years ago. I'm talking about the Igbo people in the African, American, and Caribbean communities. Some of our friends, brothers and sisters in Cape Verde. I'm not talking about people like myself that took off from the Hebrew republics. I'm talking about Cape Verdeans. Remember, we have some historical connections with the Cape Verdeans. It's a subject for another day. A few Sierra Leoneans, a few Liberians. You know about our seed in Gabon and Equatorial Guinea. One of us was a president of Gabon in recent times. We are meeting every Shabbat, every Saturday, to read the Torah together and to discuss Omenana, from which Torah, which was the tradition that Omenana cites. So, after a very splendid Shabbat service today, I am here to have this little tete-a-tete with you about the Shabbat. Our nation is being revived. What keeps the people together? Their feasts, their festivals, and their rituals. That's what keeps people together. When our own rituals were relegated to the background and replaced by the rituals of those that colonized us, what brought us together, what kept us together, gradually withered away. And today, Onyaga na Nwanne ya has gone. But the nation of Israel can be wounded, but it shall not die. Why? The nation of Israel shall not die because of the merits of the fathers and mothers of this nation. Our first ancestor Abraham made sacrifices that you have to, as our friends that are Christians will say, have to be in the spirit to recognize. At a time in the remote past, in antiquity, this holy ancestor had a voice. Leave your father's house. Obey. He began to obey. This voice continued to take him from one place to the other. At a point, this voice even told him to sacrifice a child. A child he got when he was already a non-Nigerian. This ancestor obeyed. God, that voice, Chukwu, stopped him and used that lesson to teach mankind that human sacrifice was wrong. So Abraham was the first figure in history to say to humanity, human beings shall not be used for sacrifice. His son, our ancestor Isaac, carried that tradition. The next son, Israel or Jacob, who was the figure that expanded our family, that expanded our nation through his 4 wives, carried that tradition. These 3 figures, their merits are not measurable. The merits of Moses, who happened to be the greatest person to come out of our nation, is immeasurable. So because of people like this, our nation shall not die. It can be bruised, it can be wounded, but Israel will live forever. As long as the nations of the world exist, Israel will be in the ring, telling the rest of humanity there is a better method. Because from Abraham, through Isaac, through Jacob, through Moses, through the prophets of Israel, the truth was stepped down. The truth from Chukwu was domiciled, brought down for dissemination to all humanity. In doubt, then ask yourself questions. When the European peoples came to what you know as Igbo land today, that we also know as the Hebrew Igbo republics, they did not see beggars, they did not see prostitutes, they did not see destitutes. The standard of living of the Hebrew people was not less high than what you find in any part of the world. And even though we had no standing army, no regular police, crime was almost non-existent. And on this note, I say shalom first to all the other branches of Israel. The Jews, the Samaritans, the Karaites, your Hebrew brothers, salute you. Then to the rest of humanity, who as children of Noah are also our brothers and sisters, we also jointly with the children of Israel salute you and urge you to work with us to make this world a better place for the benefit of everybody, so that we can get closer to that era that one of our holiest prophets, Isaiah, told us about in his book, the chapter 2, where he said, where he foretold a future where all the nations, not only Israel this time, not only the people of Israel, but all the nations will flow to the mountain of the Lord at Jerusalem to learn his laws. And when they have learned his laws, which you will find in Omenan and Torah, the lion and the sheep will lie down together, and the lion will not eat the sheep. Remi Ilona will sit under his own olive tree, that is Rukube, and nobody will disturb him. The man in Russia will do the same. The man in Ukraine will do the same. The man everywhere will do the same. There will be universal peace. On this note, the nation of Israel, I'm speaking on their behalf. I'm sending beams of shalom to all the creations of our Lord Chukwu, the God that everybody in the world must worship. Shalom.